What's up guys, it's 53 and welcome back to another video. The Winter 2023 development update for Hytale literally just dropped. It goes deep into stuff like social play and minigames. It reveals the brand new Orbis and all the generational improvements they've made with the new engine. So without further ado, let's get right into it. To start, John Hendricks recapped the last 3 years of Hytale's development when they started thinking about implementing a brand new engine. In the first half of 2021, we identified that we needed to develop Hytale's tech fundamentals in order to deliver a game that meets the expectations of players and creators. After a period of investigation, we committed to building a new custom engine and brought on a development partner to help us do so, that being Riot. We began actively prototyping and placing new takes on adventure content, player movement, creative tools, creature AI, and combat. We also expanded our character personalization approach, doubling down on our players' identities as creative, world-shaping being called avatars. We know about avatars now and how instead of being people from Gaia who are sent down onto Orbis to save the world, avatars create worlds, and Gaia is an avatar that created Orbis. It's something along those lines, right? And that's how we make lore for our own worlds. The avatars, which are us, the players, but also Gaia, can create our own worlds just as big or as valid in the story as Orbis. It's one of those types of games where you can do whatever you want and whatever you make is part of the world. These efforts, creative and technical, continued into 2022. Meanwhile, and as engine redevelopment continued, we dived deep into every aspect of Orbis as we began to prototype new advanced building tools, more sophisticated VFX, and a fresh approach to Hytale's UI. This year, we've brought engine development fully in-house and steadily expanded our team. In a very exciting milestone, we hosted our first external playtest, a sign of things to come. Public playtest when? Our rendering team has been hard at work on replicating the look and feel of Hytale in the new engine, and we're looking forward to sharing a side-by-side with our old engine when we're ready. Now this is really interesting. This means that the new engine looks different enough for there to be able to be side-by-side comparisons with the old engine. Hytale was never a high-fidelity game. It didn't have all the newest tech. How different can it really be from the old engine? Apart from just art-wise and new stuff they've done. They probably remade a lot of the old zones or a lot of the old areas or models and stuff like that to look better, but side by side, how different can it be? Meanwhile, the team continues to use the legacy engine to prototype experiences and improve our development processes. Over the coming months, more and more of our team will move over to working in the new engine, bringing that expertise with them. So when they announced the new engine, people thought that Hytale had pretty much just paused development and developers wouldn't be able to continue working on the game until development was unpaused when they could actually work on the new engine instead of having to work on the old one. But it sounds like from this, they have been working on the old engine pretty much up until this point. And now, only now, they're starting to kind of allow developers to work on the new engine because it's ready and in a state where it can be worked on. Now, next up, there's this great new image, brand new image of how Orbis looks. If we can go back to way long ago, it was an island in the middle of a blue ocean with 4 chunks and an island off to the side. So we do have multiple islands, which is great. I love this. Why? Because Hytale's oceans originally were quite underutilized. There was pretty much only one island in between there. There probably wouldn't be that much because that crossing from the main island of Orbis to the tropical island was really the only reason you had to cross the ocean or venture into it. But since there's 3 barriers in between the islands, barriers of ocean, they have a lot more chances to make more interesting ocean biomes. We're probably going to get a transition from, you know, the nice desert biome here in a deserty ocean all the way to a really icy cold ocean biome. And here we can have like a hellish ocean biome with like volcanic spouts that shoot sulfur and stuff like that. They're going to have a lot more opportunities with ocean biomes. And if they can make ocean gameplay interesting and not awful water level gameplay, that's going to be insane. Next, they talk about adventure mode and the evolutions that has gone through in Hytale's development. Now, before this video continues, I just want to say I've been covering Hytale pretty much since the game has announced. So if you're interested in Hytale at all, this will be the first place to get your news about it. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're a real one. So here, the example they use for the evolution of adventure mode is the tree singer. And first off, they just show what the tree singer looked like in original Hytale back way when the trailer came out. For those of you who don't know, the lore of the Quebecs is they're hatched from seedlings. They go seedlings, then they're Quebecs, then they're tree singers, which is the old Quebec you can see here, and then they just turn into trees. And that didn't really make much sense originally, because you're looking at this guy doesn't look ready to turn into a tree. He just looks like an old Quebec. You can see where they they start to evolve this kind of tree singer figure and make him look more like he's ready to turn into an actual tree. Looks like kind of like a warrior Quebec with the big hands, you know, ready to fucking fuck shit up, you know what I mean? And then you can see the evolution of that is the tree Quebec, which actually looks like a tree, and it actually looks like he's ready to turn into a tree. The 3D version of that concept art, the original tree singer, just like an old version of the existing Quebecs, but this guy looks like he's ready to turn into an actual tree. It doesn't look like an old Quebec, he looks like a tree. Here they say nature is not always green. That sounds very majestic. That's probably what Quebec magic is going to look like. Maybe they all have their own types of magic, and Quebec magic isn't just green. Next we go to social play, and this is where they start to talk about the capital, which is something we actually have not heard of in Hytale at all before. In Hytale, the heart of online social play is a shared space called the Capital. This is where players from all parts of Hytale come together to make new friends, share experiences, compete in minigames, discover new adventures, seek challenges, trade, show off pets and companions, and more. What the hell does trade mean? Trade what? Trade what? The Capital is a testament to all the things that the avatars have built and achieved in the past, and looks ahead to the exciting things they'll do in the future. Most importantly though, it's intended to be a celebration of when the Hytale community is up to. So it looks like this is the hub for the entire game. It's probably going to be a shared space, kind of like an MMO city where you're walking about, you see players everywhere just talking and hanging out and doing stuff, interacting with each other. I love the idea of hub worlds and a big centralized hub world with where everyone is going to be. That's very cool. Thanks, Hytale. Next, they're going to what's next for Hytale. As 2023 winds down, we're looking forward to 2024. As mentioned earlier, the first half of the year will be focused on getting the whole team onboarded into the new engine. We're also going to be significantly ramping up our external playtesting efforts, focusing on collecting feedback on adventure experiences, creator tools, and social and competitive play. These user tests and process advancements are important steps in getting us ready to enter full production. Hytale is not in full production yet. Most of the team is working on the old engine while the new engine is getting developed. The game isn't close to being finished. People were thinking early 2024. No, hell no, no. Unfortunately, it's looking like 2024 is unlikely. And I was in my head, I was looking at all these Hytale people in the Hytale community saying, oh, 2024, it's going to come in 2025. Late 2025 is seeming like the obvious answer now. The game isn't in full production, and the first half of next year is going to be dedicated to making people go into full production. But what it sounds like is, since they have done so much work from the announcement to now, or even before the announcement when the game was being first developed until now, I think that full production is going to go so fast. The game hasn't even started full production yet. They're not working on the new engine, but they're still remaking stuff. They're still developing the game. So when people start working on the new engine, I think it's going to go very fast. I think Hytale is very far away. I think 1 year bare minimum, like very, very minimum. I think it's probably going to be a year and a half or more. But from this post, they have showcased their evolution. They have proven that the game has changed. This new world looks amazing. I'm very excited to see what's to come for Hytale. The best case for you, if you are watching this and you're not an avid Hytale fan, you're kind of watching from the sidelines, forget about the game. Forget about it. Just completely forget about it. Don't think about it ever. Alright? So that when it does get announced, you'll be hyped with the rest of us, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you disliked it, subscribe if you're new, and tap out. Peace.